Good evening, dear listeners. Find a quiet place to rest, perhaps with a soft blanket draped over your shoulders or a pillow to cradle your head. Close your eyes if you wish, and let your mind drift to a time long past, to the sun-drenched banks of the Nile in ancient Egypt, around 1250 BCE, during the time of the New Kingdom. Tonight, we walk alongside a scribe named Tahotep, a man whose steady hands record the rhythms of his world on sheets of papyrus. There are no tales of pharaohs' conquests or grand temples here, no stories of gods or battles to stir the heart. Instead, we'll linger in the ordinary, the everyday, the rustle of papyrus under careful fingers, the soft scratch of a reed pen, the gentle lapping of the Nile against the riverbank. Picture the city of Thebes, a bustling center of ancient Egypt, its mud-brick houses glowing golden in the early light, its streets alive with the hum of daily life. The Nile flows through the heart of the city, its waters cool and clear, reflecting the deep blue of the sky. The river is the lifeblood of the land, nourishing the fields of emmer wheat and barley, carrying boats laden with goods, and providing the reeds that become the papyrus Tahotep uses in his work. The air is warm, heavy with the scent of damp earth, lotus flowers, and the faint smoke of cooking fires. Tahotep's home is a modest house near the river, its walls made of sun-dried mud brick, its roof thatched with palm fronds. The house is small, a single room with a flat roof where the family sleeps on warm nights. Inside, the air is cool, the floor packed earth, swept clean each morning. A low table holds Tahotep's tools, rolls of papyrus, a palette with cakes of black and red ink, and a bundle of reed pens, their tips sharpened to a fine point. A small shrine in the corner honors Thoth, the god of writing and wisdom, its stone surface adorned with a carved ibis, a small offering of bread and beer placed before it. Tahotep rises from his sleeping mat, the woven reeds rustling faintly as he moves. He is neither young nor old, his hands marked by years of writing, their fingers stained faintly with ink. He wears a simple linen kilt, its fabric soft and white, woven by his wife Nefertari, from flax grown in the fields nearby. His sandals, made of woven papyrus, are sturdy but light, their soles worn from walking the city's streets. His hair is shaved, a common practice to keep cool in the heat, and he wears a simple amulet, a small scarab carved from faience, strung on a cord around his neck. The morning is quiet, the city just beginning to stir. Tahotep steps outside, the air warm against his skin, the scent of the Nile mingling with the sweetness of lotus flowers growing along the riverbank. The sun is low, its light casting long shadows across the mud-brick houses, their walls glowing golden in the dawn. A fisherman casts his net into the river, the water rippling softly, while a woman fills a clay jar, its surface cool and damp. A heron stands at the water's edge, its beak poised, its eyes sharp as it watches for fish. Tahotep kneels by the river, dipping a clay cup into the water, its surface cool and clear. The Nile is the heart of his world, its waters sustaining the crops, the people, the life of the city. He drinks slowly, the water refreshing, its taste clean with a faint hint of earth. He carries the cup back to the house, setting it on the table beside his writing tools. The room is dim, the light filtering through a small window covered with a woven reed mat, its glow soft and diffused. Inside, Ptahhotep prepares a simple breakfast, a loaf of emmer bread, baked by Nefertari in a clay oven in the courtyard, and a handful of dates, their sweetness a gift from the palm trees that line the river. The bread is crusty, its interior dense and chewy, with a faint nutty flavor from the emmer wheat. The dates are soft, their skin sticky, their flavor rich and warm. Ptahhotep eats slowly, seated on a low stool, the wood polished by years of use, its surface marked with faint scratches from daily life. As he eats, the city begins to wake. A merchant calls out, his voice carrying through the streets as he sets up his stall with goods from Nubia and the Levant. A child laughs, chasing a hoop made of woven reeds, its wooden rim clicking against the packed earth. A donkey brays, its sound sharp but distant, as a farmer leads it to the fields. Ptahhotep listens, his bread pausing midway to his mouth, savoring the familiar sounds of his world. The scribe's life is one of quiet purpose, of recording the details that keep the city running, accounts of grain harvests, lists of temple offerings, letters between officials. His work is not grand, but it is essential, a thread in the fabric of Thebes' life. The papyrus he writes on comes from the reeds that grow along the Nile, harvested and pressed into sheets by artisans who live nearby. The ink, made from soot and gum, is mixed with water from the river, its black and red hues a contrast against the pale papyrus. The reed pens, sharpened with a small knife, are crafted from the same river reeds, their tips fine enough to draw the intricate hieroglyphs that tell the stories of Egypt. Let's linger here, in the quiet of Ptahhotep's home, as he prepares for his day. The room is cool, the air filled with the scent of bread and river water. The papyrus rolls rest on the table, their edges curling slightly, waiting for his steady hand. The city outside hums with life, but here all is calm, all is focused. Ptahhotep's work is a small but vital part of Thebes, a craft that connects him to the river, the people, the gods. As we follow him through his day, let's move slowly, letting each moment unfold at its own pace, carrying us into a place of peace and rest. The sun rises over Thebes, its light painting the sky in hues of gold and pink, reflecting on the Nile's calm waters. Ptahhotep steps outside his mud-brick house, the air warm and heavy with the scent of damp earth and lotus flowers. The river is just a few steps away, its surface rippling gently, its banks lined with tall papyrus reeds that sway in the morning breeze. The Nile is the heart of the city, its waters nourishing the fields, carrying boats laden with goods, and providing the reeds that become the scribe's papyrus. Ptahhotep kneels by the riverbank, his linen kilt brushing the soft earth, his sandals sinking slightly into the damp ground. He dips a clay cup into the water, its surface cool and clear, the liquid catching the light as it fills the vessel. The sound is soft, a gentle splash that blends with the lapping of the river against the bank, the distant call of a heron, the hum of insects waking in the reeds. He lifts the cup, water dripping from its edge, and carries it back to the house, his sandals leaving faint prints in the earth. The house is modest, its walls made of sun-dried mud brick, their surfaces smooth and warm to the touch. The roof is flat, thatched with palm fronds, its edges curling slightly from the heat. Inside, the room is cool, the floor packed earth, swept clean by Nefertari each morning. A low table stands in the center, its surface marked with faint scratches from years of use, holding Tahotep's tools, rolls of papyrus, a wooden palette with cakes of black and red ink, and a bundle of reed pens, their tips sharpened to a fine point. A small shrine to Thoth, the god of writing, sits in the corner, its stone surface carved with an ibis, a small offering of bread and beer placed before it. Tahotep sets the cup on the table, its clay surface cool against the wood. He prepares a simple breakfast, breaking a loaf of emmer bread, its crust golden and crisp, its interior dense and chewy. The bread was baked by Nefertari in the courtyard's clay oven, its walls blackened by years of fires. He adds a handful of dates, their skins sticky, their flavor sweet and rich, harvested from the palm trees that line the river. He eats slowly, seated on a low stool, its wood polished by years of use, its legs uneven but steady. The air is filled with the scents of the morning, the warm, nutty aroma of the bread, the sweetness of the dates, the faint dampness of the river. The light through the window is soft, filtered through a woven reed mat, casting a gentle glow across the room. Tahotep listens to the sounds of the city waking, the call of a merchant setting up his stall, the laughter of children playing by the river, the creak of a boat's oars as a fisherman rows downstream. The scribe's work is one of precision, of recording the details that keep Thebes running. Tahotep is a scribe of the temple, tasked with documenting offerings, inventories, and correspondence for the priests of Ammonius. His role is respected, for scribes are the keepers of knowledge, their words a bridge between the earthly and the divine. The papyrus he uses is a gift of the Nile, its reeds harvested by artisans who cut and press them into sheets. The ink, made from soot and gum, is mixed with river water, its black and red hues vibrant against the pale papyrus. The reed pens, sharpened with a small knife, are crafted from the same reeds, their tips fine enough to draw the intricate hieroglyphs that tell the stories of Egypt. Tahotep finishes his meal, setting the empty plate aside, its clay surface still warm from the bread. He moves to the table, his hands brushing against the papyrus rolls, their edges curling slightly from the dry air. He selects a roll, unrolling it carefully, its surface smooth and pale, ready for his words. The papyrus rustles softly, a sound like dry leaves stirred by a breeze, a sound that is both familiar and comforting to the scribe. Let's pause here, imagining Tahotep in his home. The room is cool, the air filled with the scent of bread and river water. The papyrus rests on the table, its surface waiting for the scribe's careful hand. The city outside hums with life, but here all is calm, all is focused. Tahotep's work is a small but vital part of Thebes, a craft that connects him to the river, the people, the gods. The scribe's tools are simple but essential, each one a product of the land and the hands that work it. The papyrus comes from the reeds that grow along the Nile, harvested by artisans who wade into the shallow waters, their knives flashing in the sun. The ink is made from soot collected from cooking fires, mixed with gum from acacia trees, its consistency perfected by years of practice. The reed pens are cut from the same Nile reeds, their tips sharpened with a small knife, their shafts light and balanced in the hand. Ptahhotep checks his tools, ensuring the ink cakes are moist, the pens sharp, the papyrus smooth. He dips a pen into the black ink, its surface glistening in the dim light, and tests it on a scrap of papyrus, drawing a single hieroglyph, a reed leaf symbolizing life. The ink flows smoothly, its line clean and precise, a testament to the scribe's skill. He sets the pen aside, ready for the day's work, and prepares to leave for the temple. The city outside is waking, its streets filling with the sounds of daily life. A merchant calls out, offering linen and pottery from his stall. A woman carries a jar of water from the river, its weight balanced on her shoulder, her steps steady against the packed earth. A child chases a hoop, its wooden rim clicking against the ground, while a donkey brays, its sound sharp but distant. Ptahhotep listens, his hands resting on the table, his heart at peace in the rhythm of his world. Let's linger here, in the quiet of the morning, as Ptahhotep prepares for his day. The Nile flows outside, its waters cool and clear, its sound a gentle lullaby. The papyrus rustles softly, the ink glistens, the reed pens wait for his hand. The city is alive, yet there's a stillness to it, a sense of calm as the day begins. As we move into the next part of Ptahhotep's day, let's carry this calm with us, letting the details of his life unfold slowly, like the unrolling of a papyrus scroll. Ptahhotep sits at his low table, the papyrus roll before him, its surface pale and smooth, its edges curling slightly in the dry air. The room is cool, the light filtering through the woven reed mat at the window, casting a soft glow across the mud brick walls. The air is filled with the scent of river water and the faint sweetness of lotus flowers, carried on a breeze from the Nile. The scribe's tools are laid out before him, a wooden palette with cakes of black and red ink, a small jar of water, and a bundle of reed pens, their tips sharpened to a fine point. The papyrus is the heart of Ptahhotep's craft, a gift of the Nile that carries the words of Egypt. The reeds are harvested from the river's banks, their tall, green stalks cut by artisans who wade into the shallow waters, their knives flashing in the sun. The reeds are peeled, their pith sliced into thin strips, laid in layers, and pressed until they form a smooth, flexible sheet. The process is slow, requiring skill and patience, but the result is a surface that is both strong and delicate, perfect for the scribe's work. Ptahhotep unrolls the papyrus carefully, its rustle a soft, familiar sound, like dry leaves stirred by a breeze. He smooths it with his hands, ensuring it lies flat, its surface free of creases or imperfections. The papyrus is pale, its texture slightly rough, its edges marked with faint traces of the reed's fibers. Ptahhotep checks the roll, ensuring it's long enough for the day's work. A list of temple offerings, perhaps, or a letter from one priest to another. Next, he prepares the ink, a task as familiar as breathing. The ink cakes are small, their surfaces smooth and glossy, made from soot and gum mixed with water from the Nile. The black ink, used for most writing, is made from soot collected from cooking fires, its color deep and rich. The red ink, used for emphasis or headings, is made from ochre, its hue warm and vibrant. Tahotep dips a small brush into the jar of water, its clay surface cool and damp, and moistens the black ink cake, stirring until it forms a smooth, glossy paste. The reed pens are next, their tips sharpened with a small knife, its blade worn but sharp. Tahotep selects a pen, its shaft light and balanced, its tip fine enough to draw the intricate hieroglyphs that tell the stories of Egypt. He tests the pen on a scrap of papyrus, drawing a single sign, a reed leaf, symbolizing life. The ink flows smoothly, its line clean and precise, a testament to the scribe's skill. He sets the pen aside, ready for the day's work, and prepares to leave for the temple. The preparation of tools is a ritual, a moment of quiet focus that grounds Tahotep in the present. The room is quiet, the only sounds the rustle of papyrus, the soft splash of water in the ink jar, the distant murmur of the Nile. The air is warm, the scent of river water and lotus flowers mingling with the earthy aroma of the mud brick walls. Tahotep's hands move with practiced ease, each motion a small act of care, a preparation for the work ahead. Let's pause here, imagining Tahotep at his table. The papyrus lies smooth and pale, the ink glistens in the dim light, the reed pens wait for his hand. The room is a haven, a place where time moves slowly, where each task is a small act of creation. Outside, the city hums with life. Merchants calling, children playing, boats gliding along the river. But here, all is calm, all is focused. The papyrus, ink, and pens are more than tools. They're a connection to the land, to the people, to the gods. The reeds come from the Nile, their harvest a communal effort that binds the artisans to the river. The ink is made from soot and ochre, gathered from the fires and cliffs of Egypt, its colors a gift of the earth. The pens, crafted from the same reeds, are sharpened by Tahotep's own hand, their tips a testament to his skill. Each tool is a thread in the fabric of Thebes' life, a small but essential part of the scribe's work. Tahotep thinks of the temple where he works, a vast complex of stone and columns dedicated to Ammonius, the king of the gods. The temple is a world of its own, its courtyards filled with priests, its halls echoing with chants, its storerooms piled with grain and linen. Tahotep's role is to record the offerings, jars of beer, loaves of bread, bolts of cloth, ensuring the temple's wealth is accounted for, its gifts to the gods properly documented. His work is not grand, but it is vital, a bridge between the earthly and the divine. The scribe finishes his preparations, rolling the papyrus carefully and tucking it under his arm. He gathers his palette and pens, placing them in a small linen bag, its fabric soft and worn from years of use. He steps outside, the air warm against his skin, the Nile gleaming in the morning light. The city is alive now, its streets filled with the sounds of daily life. The creak of a cart's wheels, the call of a merchant, the laughter of children playing by the river. Tahotep walks toward the temple, his sandals scuffing against the packed earth, his bag slung over his shoulder. The path is familiar, its surface worn by years of footsteps, bordered by mud brick houses and small gardens where onions and garlic grow. A fisherman rows past, his boat gliding smoothly, its oars dipping into the water with a soft splash. A woman kneels by the river, washing linen, her hands moving rhythmically, the fabric gleaming white in the sun. Let's linger here, in the quiet of the morning, as Ptahhotep walks to the temple. The Nile flows beside him, its waters cool and clear, its sound a gentle lullaby. The papyrus rustles softly in his bag, the ink and pens ready for his work. The city is alive, yet there's a stillness to it, a sense of calm as the day unfolds. As we move into the next part of Ptahhotep's day, let's carry this calm with us, letting the details of his craft unfold slowly, like the unrolling of a papyrus scroll. Ptahhotep arrives at the Temple of Ammonius, its massive stone columns rising into the sky, their surfaces carved with hieroglyphs that tell the stories of pharaohs and gods. The courtyard is bustling, priests moving to and fro, their linen robes gleaming white in the sunlight, their voices chanting softly in praise of Ammonius. The air is warm, heavy with the scent of incense and lotus flowers, the faint smoke of offerings drifting from the altars. Ptahhotep steps into the cool shade of a colonnade, his sandals silent against the polished stone floor, his bag of tools slung over his shoulder. The temple is a world of its own, its halls filled with the hum of activity, its storerooms piled with grain, linen, and jars of beer and oil. Ptahhotep's place is in a small chamber off the main courtyard, a quiet space where scribes work, their tables lined with papyrus and ink. The chamber is cool, its walls made of smooth limestone, its ceiling supported by wooden beams painted with images of stars and birds. A small window lets in a sliver of light, its glow soft and diffused, illuminating the table where Ptahhotep sets his tools. He unrolls the papyrus, its rustle a soft, familiar sound, and smooths it with his hands, ensuring it lies flat. The papyrus is pale, its surface slightly rough, its edges marked with faint traces of the reed's fibers. Ptahhotep dips a reed pen into the black ink, its surface glistening in the dim light, and begins to write. His task today is to record the temple's offerings. Jars of beer brewed from barley, loaves of bread baked in the temple's ovens, bolts of linen woven by artisans in the city. The pen moves smoothly, its tip tracing the intricate hieroglyphs that tell the story of the temple's wealth. Ptahhotep draws each sign with care, his hand steady, his strokes precise. The black ink flows evenly, its lines clean and sharp against the pale papyrus. He writes in columns, the hieroglyphs arranged in neat rows, each sign a small work of art, an eye for sea, a reed leaf for life, a loaf of bread for offering. The red ink is used sparingly, for headings or important names, its warm hue a contrast to the black. The process is slow, deliberate, a dance of hand and pen that requires both focus and patience. Ptahhotep pauses occasionally to sharpen his pen, using a small knife to trim the reed's tip, ensuring it remains fine enough for the delicate hieroglyphs. The knife is small, its blade worn but sharp, its handle carved from bone, its surface polished by years of use. He tests the pen on a scrap of papyrus, drawing a single sign, its line clean and precise, a testament to his skill. Let's pause here, imagining Ptahhotep at work. The pen moves across the papyrus, its scratch a soft, rhythmic sound, blending with the distant chants of the priests, the hum of the temple. The chamber is cool, the air filled with the scent of ink and incense, the light soft and diffused. The city outside continues its rhythms, merchants calling, boats gliding along the river, but here all is calm, all is focused. The scribe's work is a bridge between the earthly and the divine, a record of the temple's offerings that ensures the gods are honored, the priests provided for, the city sustained. Ptahhotep thinks of the fields where the barley grows, watered by the Nile, harvested by farmers whose hands are calloused from work. He thinks of the ovens where the bread is baked, their fires fueled by wood gathered from the riverbank. He thinks of the weavers who spin flax into linen, their looms creaking in houses not unlike his own. His words tie these efforts together, preserving them on papyrus, a testament to the city's life. The papyrus itself is a marvel, a product of the Nile's bounty. The reeds are harvested by artisans who wade into the shallow waters, their knives cutting through the green stalks with practiced ease. The pith is sliced into thin strips, laid in layers, and pressed until it forms a smooth, flexible sheet. The process is slow, requiring days of work, but the result is a surface that is both strong and delicate, perfect for the scribe's craft. Ptahhotep writes on, the papyrus filling with hieroglyphs, each sign a small act of creation. He pauses to mix more ink, dipping his brush into the jar of water, stirring the black ink cake until it forms a smooth paste. The ink glistens, its surface catching the light, its scent sharp and earthy. He dips his pen, testing it on a scrap of papyrus, ensuring the line is clean and precise. The red ink is used for the name of Ammonius, its warm hue a mark of reverence, a reminder of the god's presence in the temple. The chamber is quiet, the only sounds the scratch of the pen, the rustle of papyrus, the distant chants of the priests. The air is cool, the scent of incense and lotus flowers mingling with the earthy aroma of the ink. Ptahhotep's hands move with practiced ease, each hieroglyph a testament to his training, to the years spent learning the signs, the strokes, the rhythms of his craft. The scribe thinks of his father, who was also a scribe, and of the lessons he taught, how to hold the pen, how to mix the ink, how to draw the signs with precision. Those lessons are woven into Ptahhotep's work, a thread that connects him to the past, to the men and women who wrote before him. The temple is a place of continuity, its rituals and records stretching back centuries. It scribes a link between the present and the eternal. Let's linger here, in the quiet of the chamber, as Ptahhotep writes. The pen scratches softly, the papyrus rustles, the light glows faintly through the window. The temple is alive, yet there's a stillness to it, a sense of calm as the day unfolds. Ptahhotep's work is a small but vital part of Thebes, a craft that preserves the city's life, its offerings, its connection to the gods. As we move to the next part of his day, let's carry this calm with us, letting the details of his craft unfold slowly, like the words taking shape on the papyrus. The sun is high now, its light streaming through the temple's courtyard, casting shadows across the stone columns. Ptahhotep sits in the scribe's chamber, his papyrus spread before him, his pen moving steadily across its surface. The air is warm, heavy with the scent of incense and lotus flowers, the faint smoke of offerings drifting from the altars. The chamber is cool, its limestone walls smooth and pale, its ceiling painted with stars and birds, a reminder of the heavens that watch over Thebes. Ptahhotep's task is to record the temple's offerings, a list of goods brought by priests and worshippers to honor Ammonius. The papyrus is filling with hieroglyphs, each sign drawn with care, its lines clean and precise. He records jars of beer, their clay surfaces sealed with wax, brewed from barley grown in the fields along the Nile. He lists loaves of bread, their crusts golden and crisp, baked in the temple's ovens by bakers whose hands are dusted with flour. He notes bolts of linen, their fabric soft and white, woven by artisans in the city, their looms creaking in houses not unlike his own. The pen moves smoothly, its tip tracing the intricate hieroglyphs that tell the story of the temple's wealth. Ptahhotep draws each sign with care, his hand steady, his strokes precise. The black ink flows evenly, its lines sharp against the pale papyrus. He uses the red ink sparingly, for the names of priests or the god Ammonius, its warm hue a mark of reverence. The papyrus rustles softly, its sound a gentle counterpoint to the distant chants of the priests, the hum of the temple's life. The process is slow, deliberate, a dance of hand and pen that requires both focus and patience. Ptahhotep pauses to sharpen his pen, using a small knife to trim the reed's tip, ensuring it remains fine enough for the delicate hieroglyphs. The knife is small, its blade worn but sharp, its handle carved from bone, its surface polished by years of use. He tests the pen on a scrap of papyrus, drawing a single sign, its line clean and precise, a testament to his skill. Let's pause here, imagining Ptahhotep at work. The pen moves across the papyrus, its scratch a soft, rhythmic sound, blending with the distant chants of the priests, the hum of the temple. The chamber is cool, the air filled with the scent of ink and incense, the light soft and diffused. The city outside continues its rhythms, merchants calling, boats gliding along the river, but here all is calm, all is focused. The offerings Ptahhotep records are the lifeblood of the temple, a testament to the city's devotion to its gods. The beer is brewed by artisans who tend vats of fermenting barley, their hands sticky with malt, their fires burning through the night. The bread is baked in clay ovens, their walls blackened by years of use, their heat a constant in the temple's kitchens. The linen is woven by artisans who spin flax into thread, their looms creaking in the heat, their cloth a gift to the gods and the priests who serve them. Ptahhotep's work ties these efforts together, preserving them on papyrus, a record that ensures the temple's wealth is accounted for, its gifts to the gods properly documented. His words are a bridge between the earthly and the divine, a testament to the city's life, its rhythms, its devotion. He thinks of the farmers who grow the barley, their hands calloused from work in the fields. He thinks of the bakers who knead the dough, their arms strong from years of labor. He thinks of the weavers who spin the flax, their looms a constant presence in their homes. The papyrus is a marvel, a product of the Nile's bounty. The reeds are harvested by artisans who wade into the shallow waters, their knives cutting through the green stalks with practiced ease. The pith is sliced into thin strips, laid in layers, and pressed until it forms a smooth, flexible sheet. requiring days of work, but the result is a surface that is both strong and delicate, perfect for the scribe's craft. The sun is setting now, its golden light filtering through the palm trees, casting long shadows across the Nile. Ptahhotep finishes his work in the temple, rolling the papyrus carefully, its surface now filled with neat columns of hieroglyphs. The chamber is quiet, the priest's chants fading as the day draws to a close, the air heavy with the scent of incense and lotus flowers. Ptahhotep gathers his tools, placing the palette and pens in his linen bag, its fabric soft and worn from years of use. He steps into the courtyard, the stone warm under his sandals, the air cooling as the sun dips below the horizon. The Nile gleams in the fading light, its waters reflecting the deep blue of the sky, its banks lined with papyrus reeds that sway gently in the breeze. A fisherman rows past, his boat gliding smoothly, its oars dipping into the water with a soft splash. A heron takes flight, its wings beating against the still air, its silhouette sharp against the sunset. Ptahhotep walks home, his sandals scuffing against the packed earth, his bag slung over his shoulder. The city is settling into evening, its streets quieter now, the merchants packing up their stalls, the children returning home. A woman carries a jar of water from the river, its weight balanced on her shoulder, her steps steady against the ground. A donkey brays, its sound sharp but distant, as a farmer leads it back from the fields. Back in his house, Ptahhotep sets his bag on the table, the papyrus rustling softly as he places it beside the other rolls. The room is dim, the light filtering through the woven reed mat at the window, casting a soft glow across the mud-brick walls. He prepares a simple supper, a loaf of emmer bread, a handful of dates, and a small bowl of lentils, cooked by Nefertari over the fire in the courtyard. The bread is crusty, its interior dense and chewy, its flavor warm and nutty. The dates are sweet, their skin sticky, their taste a reminder of the palm trees that line the river. The lentils are soft, their texture earthy, flavored with onions grown in the small garden outside. Ptahhotep eats slowly, seated on the low stool, its wood polished by years of use. The air is filled with the scents of the evening, the warm aroma of the bread, the sweetness of the dates, the faint dampness of the river. The city outside is quiet, its sounds softening, its rhythms slowing. The Nile murmurs, its waters lapping gently against the bank, blending with the chirping of crickets and the occasional call of a night bird. The evening is a time for reflection, for quiet moments of gratitude. Ptahhotep thinks of the temple, of the offerings he recorded, of the priests who serve Ammonius. He thinks of the Nile, its waters sustaining the crops, the reeds, the life of the city. He thinks of Nefertari, whose hands wove the linen he wears, whose fires baked the bread he eats. His work is not solitary. It's a collaboration, a weaving together of many hands, many lives, all connected by the river and the gods. Ptahhotep tidies the room, sweeping the floor with a broom made of bundled reeds, its bristles worn but effective. He places a small offering before the shrine to Thoth, a piece of bread, a sip of beer, whispering a quiet prayer of thanks for the wisdom to write, the skill to serve. The shrine is simple, its stone surface carved with an ibis, its presence a reminder of the God who guides the scribe's hand. Let's pause here, in the stillness of the evening. The room is quiet, the only sounds the rustle of the broom, the murmur of the Nile, the faint crackle of the fire in the courtyard. Ptahhotep moves through his tasks with a gentle focus, his hands steady, his heart at peace. The city outside is settling into night, its sounds softening, its rhythms slowing. Ptahhotep steps outside, looking out at the darkened river, the stars beginning to appear in the deep blue sky. The Nile gleams faintly, its waters reflecting the light of the moon, its banks lined with reeds that sway in the breeze. He breathes deeply, the air cool and fresh, the scent of lotus flowers and damp earth filling his lungs. The city is at peace, its people resting, its rhythms slowing to match the turning of the stars. As he prepares for sleep, Ptahhotep lies on his woven mat, the reeds rustling faintly beneath him. The room is quiet, the only sounds the distant murmur of the Nile and the soft chirping of crickets. He closes his eyes, his breathing slow and steady, his thoughts drifting to the papyrus, the ink, the temple that is his life's work. The city is at rest, its people sleeping under the stars, its rhythms slowing to match the turning of the night. Ptahhotep's work is a thread in the fabric of Thebes' life, a small but vital act that preserves the city's stories, its offerings, its connection to the gods. As he drifts towards sleep, he feels a quiet contentment, a sense of belonging to something larger than himself. Let's linger here, in the quiet of the house, as Ptahhotep rests. The Nile murmurs, its sound a gentle lullaby. The stars shine above, their light soft and distant, a reminder of the world's vastness and the city's small, quiet place within it. Ptahhotep sleeps, his breathing slow and steady, his dreams filled with the rhythms of his craft. As we move to the conclusion of our journey, let's carry this calm with us, letting the details of his life linger in our minds. And so, dear listeners, we leave Ptahhotep in his quiet house, the papyrus rolled neatly, the ink drying on the table, the Nile murmuring outside. His day has been one of small, steady moments, of hands drawing hieroglyphs, of words preserving the life of Thebes, of a life lived in service to the gods and the city. There's no grand drama here, no tales of conquest or glory, just the gentle rhythm of a craft that has shaped Egypt for centuries, a craft that connects Ptahhotep to the river, the people, the divine. As you rest tonight, imagine the house, its mud brick walls cool and sturdy, its air filled with the scent of bread and river water. Imagine the papyrus, its surface covered with hieroglyphs, its edges curling slightly in the dry air. Imagine the Nile, its waters gleaming under the stars, its sound a gentle lullaby. Let these images carry you into a place of calm, a place where time moves slowly, where each task is a small act of creation. Ptahhotep's life is one of patience, of care, of quiet purpose. His words record the offerings that honor the gods, the harvests that sustain the city, the lives that weave together to form Thebes. And as he sleeps, the city sleeps with him, its people resting under the same stars, their lives connected by the river and the gods they serve. The scribe's work is not solitary. It's a collaboration, a weaving together of many hands, many lives. The papyrus comes from the reeds of the Nile, harvested by artisans whose knives flash in the sun. The ink is made from soot and ochre, gathered from the fires and cliffs of Egypt. The bread, the beer, the linen, all are gifts of the land and the people who work it, recorded by Tahotep's hand, preserved for the gods and the future. Let's linger here, in this moment of peace. The house is quiet, the Nile murmurs, the stars shine above. Tahotep sleeps, his breathing slow and steady, his dreams filled with the rhythm of his craft. The city is at peace, its sounds softening, its rhythms slowing to match the turning of the night. Thebes is a tapestry, each person a thread, each task a stitch that binds them together. Tahotep's words are a small but essential part of this tapestry, a record of the city's life, its devotion, its connection to the divine. The farmers, the bakers, the weavers, the fishermen, all are part of this fabric, their lives interwoven with Tahotep's, their stories preserved by his hand. As you drift toward sleep, let the sounds of Thebes wash over you, the rustle of papyrus, the scratch of the reed pen, the murmur of the Nile. Let them carry you into a place of rest, a place where the world is simple, where each day is a thread in the fabric of life. Imagine Tahotep's house, its walls cool and sturdy, its air filled with the scent of bread and river water. Imagine the papyrus, its hieroglyphs telling the story of the city, its gods, its people. Tahotep's life is one of small, steady moments, of tasks that build towards something lasting. He doesn't dream of fame or glory, but of the quiet satisfaction of a day's work well done, of words that honor the gods, of a city that thrives under his care. His work is a gift, a small but vital act that preserves the life of Thebes, a thread in the fabric of Egypt's story. The house is quiet now, the only sounds the faint murmur of the Nile and the soft chirping of crickets. Tahotep sleeps, his breathing slow and steady, his thoughts drifting to the papyrus, the ink, the temple that is his life's work. The city is at rest, its people sleeping under the stars, its rhythms slowing to match the turning of the night. Let's stay here, in this moment of peace, as Thebes sleeps. The Nile murmurs, its sound a gentle lullaby. The stars shine above, their light soft and distant, a reminder of the world's vastness and the city's small, quiet place within it. Tahotep's work is done for the day, his papyrus filled, his heart at peace. Sleep well, dear listeners, and may your dreams be as gentle as Tahotep's day. Let the sounds of Thebes, the rustle of papyrus, the scratch of the pen, the murmur of the Nile, carry you into a place of rest. Good night.